flight off the base?
The 0600 was the first flight off the base.
Colonel, you flew up to Washington early this morning, is that right?
Yes.
I see you're wearing your Class A dress uniform for your parents in court today.
As are you, Lieutenant.
Did you wear that uniform on the plane, sir?
Please, the court, is this dialogue relevant to anything in particular?
Your Honor, the defendant didn't get a chance to depose the witness. We would ask the court for a little latitude.
A very little latitude.
Colonel,
I wore fatigues on the plane.
you brought your dress uniform with you.
Yes.
A shaving kit, toothbrush, change of underwear.
Your Honor, are these
Is
questions
the Colonel's underwear a matter of national security?
Get somewhere fast with this, Lieutenant.
Yes, ma'am. Colonel?
I brought a change of clothes and some personal items.
Thank you. After Dawson and Downey's arrest, Santiago's room was sealed with contents inventory. 4 pairs of camouflage pants, 3 long-sleeve khaki shirts, 3 short-sleeve khaki shirts, 4 pairs of green socks, 4 pairs of black socks, 2 belts, 1 sweater.
Your Honor, is there a question anywhere in our future?
I'm wondering why Santiago wasn't packed. We have the telephone records from your base the past 24 hours. After being subpoenaed in Washington, you made 3 phone calls. I've highlighted those calls in yellow. Do you recognize those numbers?
I called Colonel Fitzhughes in Quantico, Virginia to let him know I'd be in town. Second call is to Congressman Richmond of the House Armed Services Committee. The third call is to my sister Elizabeth.
Why'd you make that call, sir?
I thought she might like to have dinner tonight.
Your Honor, is the Colonel's sister really a matter of national
Your Honor, these are the telephone records from Guantanamo at night of July 6th. These are the 14 letters Santiago wrote, requesting, in fact, begging to be transferred off the base. Upon hearing the news that he's finally being transferred, Santiago was so excited. Do you know how many phone calls he made? 0. Nobody. Not one call to his parents saying he's finally getting out. Not one phone call to his friend asking if he'd pick me up at the airport. He was asleep at midnight. And according to you, he was leaving on a flight in 6 hours. And everything he owned was folded neatly in a footlocker and hanging neatly in a closet. You were leaving for 1 day, and you packed a bag and made 3 phone calls. Santiago was leaving for the rest of his life, and he unpacked a thing and called a soul. Can you explain that? The fact is, Santiago wasn't going anywhere. Isn't that right, Colonel?
Object! It's obvious that Lieutenant Caffey's intention this morning is to smear a high-ranking Marine officer, with the desperate hope that the mere appearance of impropriety will win him points with the jury. It is my recommendation, then, that Lieutenant Caffey be reprimanded for his conduct, and that the witness be excused with the court's deepest apology. Your Honor, Lieutenant Caffey's promise of life.
Colonel, is this funny, sir?
No, it's not. It's tragic.
Do you have an answer?
Absolutely. My answer is I don't have the first damn clue. Maybe he was an early riser, like to pack in the morning. Maybe he didn't have any friends. I'm an educated man, but I'm afraid I can't speak intelligently about the travel habits of William Santiago. What I do know is that he was set to leave the base at 0600 the next morning. Now, are those really the questions I was called here to answer? Phone calls and footlockers? Please tell me you have something more, Lieutenant. 2 Marines are on trial for their lives. Please tell me their lawyer hasn't pinned their hopes to a phone bill. Do you have any other questions for me, Counselor?
Lieutenant, do you have any more questions for this witness?
Thank you, Danny. I love Washington.
You're Excuse me, I didn't dismiss you.
I beg your pardon.
I'm not through with my examination. I didn't dismiss you. Sit down!
Colonel!
What's that?
I want the man to address me as Colonel or Sir. I believe I've earned it.
Defense counsel will address the witness as Colonel or Sir.
I don't know what the hell kind of outfit you let it in.
And the witness will address this court as judge on your honor. And I'm quite certain I've earned it. Take your seat, Colonel.
What do you want to talk about now? My favorite color?
Colonel, it's 6 a.m. flight. The first flight off the base?
Yes!
There wasn't a flight leaving 7 hours earlier from Andrews Air Force Base at 2 a.m.
I thought we already covered this.
Your Honor, in a moment, defense will be calling when his Airman Cecil O'Malley and Airman Anthony Perez to stand. Airman O'Malley and Airman Perez worked in the ground crew on the morning of the 7th.
Your Honor, these men weren't on the list.
Rebuttal witnesses, Your Honor, called specifically to refute testimony offered under direct examination.
I'll allow the witnesses.
Colonel, a moment ago...
Check the tower logs, for Christ's sake!
We'll get to the airman in just a second, sir. A moment ago, you said you ordered Kendrick to tell the men that Santiago wasn't to be touched.
That's right.
And Kendrick was clear on what you ordered?
Crystal.
Any chance he just forgot about it?
Forgot about it?
Any chance he just left your office and said the old man's wrong?
No.
When Kendrick spoke to the platoon and told him not to touch Santiago, any chance they ignored him?
Have you ever served in an infantry unit, son?
No, sir.
Ever served in a forward area?
No, sir.
Ever put your life in another man's hands? Asked him to put his life in yours?
No, sir.
We follow orders, son. We follow orders or people die. It's that simple. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Are we clear?
Crystal. Colonel, I have one last question before I call Airman O'Malley. You ordered that Santiago wasn't to be touched. Why would it be necessary for him to be transferred off the base?
I'm sorry, would you repeat that?
You ordered that Santiago wasn't to be touched. Why would it be necessary?
Santiago was being transferred because he was a substandard Marine.
But that's not what you said. You said he's being transferred because he was in grave
Yes,
danger.
that's right, that's
You
right.
said he was in danger. I said
Yes, I
grave
recall
danger.
what-
I can have the court report and read
I
back.
know what I said. I don't need it read back to me like I'm a damn fool.
Then why the two orders? Colonel?
Sometimes men take matters into their own hands.
No, sir. You said your men never take matters in their own hands. Your men follow orders or people die. Santiago shouldn't have been in any danger at all. He's not right, Colonel. It's a paradox, isn't it? No, paradox is
Oh, you
what-
little bastard. You
Your
just...
Honor, I'd like to ask...
I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
That makes two of us.
Colonel, you ordered that Santiago wasn't to be touched. Why did he have to be transferred? Kendrick ordered a code red, didn't he? Because that's what you ordered Kendrick to do. Now, when things went bad, you cut these guys loose. You ordered Marcus to sign a phony transfer order. You coerced the Dodgers. You talked to them with us for the fourth time. If you want answers, I'm entitled to them.
You want answers?
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth. Because the truth is that we live in a world that has walls. And those walls have to be guarded by men with guns. Who's going to do it? You! You, Lieutenant Weinberg. I have a greater responsibility than you could possibly fathom. You weep for Santiago and you curse the Marines. You have that luxury. The luxury of the blind. The luxury of not knowing what I know. That Santiago's death, while tragic, probably saved lives, and my existence, while grotesque and incomprehensible to you, saves lives. You can't handle it. Because in places deep down that you don't talk about at parties. You want me on that wall? You need me on that wall. We use words like honor, code, loyalty. We use these words as the backbone to a life spent defending something. You use them as a punchline. Well, I have neither the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a man who rises and sleeps under the blanket of the very freedom that I provide and then questions the manner in which I provide it. I prefer you just said thank you and went on your way. Otherwise, I suggest you pick up a weapon and stand up post. Either way, I don't give a damn what you think you're entitled to.
You ordered the code red.
I did the job you sent me to do.
You ordered the code red!
You're goddamn right I did!
Please, the court. I suggest the members be dismissed. We move to an immediate Article 39A session. The witness has rights. Jack?
I concur.
Sergeant Barnes, take the members to the anteroom, where you'll wait for further instructions.
What the hell's happening, Captain? What's going on? I'm not familiar with Article 39A. I did my job. I do it again. Now I'm getting on a plane. What?
MPs, guard the prisoner.
I order a code red? Are you people going crazy like it's a fucking ladies' auxiliary?
Colonel, you have the right to remain silent. Any statement you do make can be used against you in a trial
I'm being charged with crime?
proceeding. You have the right
That's
to
what this
defend
is?
your words.
I'm being charged with crime? This is funny!
Entertain at no cost to
This
the-
is for...
or by means
I'm going to tear the eyeballs right out of your head and piss in your dead skull! You fuck with the wrong Marine!
Colonel, do you understand these rights as I've just read them to you?
You fucking people! You have no idea how to defend a nation! All you did was weaken our country tonight, Captain! That's all you did! Give yourself a pat on the back. You put people's lives in danger. Sweet dreams, son!
Don't call me son! I am a lawyer, an officer of the United States Navy. And you are under arrest, you son of a bitch.